This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
The Katsina State Police Command says it will give the sum of 50 million naira to anyone with information that leads to the arrest of two bandit leaders who have been operating in the state. The men have been identified as Modi and Jan Kare, and both of them are said to operate in the Kankara and Safana local government areas. The command describes the 50 million naira as a testament to their dedication to ensuring justice prevails, stressing that the issue of security is a collective responsibility. Now, this comes shortly after a similar method was used in Abuja by the Minister of the FCT, who announced a 20 million naira reward for information of kidnappers. Will bounties become the latest tool in tackling insecurity? For more on this, we're joined by Idris Mohammed, a conflict researcher with the Department of Mass Communications at Usman Dan Fodio University in Sokoto. Mr. Mohammed, good morning and thank you for joining us on the conversation.
Yeah, good morning once again, and thank you for having me in the show.
What is your reaction to this latest move by security agencies to tackle insecurity?
The story about the bounty is not surprising for me because this is not the first time such bounty was, placed on the wanted terrorists in the region. If you recall, in 2019, the then Commissioner of Police in Katsina State was placed on 5 million about the whereabouts of Adamu Aliru. Adamu Aliru is one of the most wanted bandit leader in the region based in Zamfara State. Few days after he placed the bounty, Adamu Aliru was cited in his community where an area in Zamfara State to ban him as one of the most important persons in his locality. So, information about all these terrorist groups is not hidden. It's the tight collaboration between the locals and these bandit leaders will not give that information to the security so that they will get them arrested. It's not like a genuine collaboration between them, but because of the poor government, these people have been staying in ungovernable places for many years. So they are more closer to the terrorists than the Nigerian security or Nigerian authorities. Last week, I was in one community in my state, which is Katsina. But they have policemen. And these two policemen do not even have, a sophisticated weapons, to confront, like, to say 5 or 10 armed groups, settlers of over 50 armed groups in that particular axis. So how would you think that such a member of that community will provide an information for a bandit leader who is very dangerous, like Dankari or Omudi?
So, Mr. Mohammed, let me interrupt you and ask you this. If at all we're able to actually effectively roll out this method, offering a reward for information that leads to capture, are there any shortfalls? Because you've just identified a shortfall with implementing in the first place. But once we implement, what other shortfalls should we look for?
I said, there is distrust between police and the Nigerians, especially the locals. Also, there is distrust between the locals and the government. So even if you meet any local and tell him that such amount of money would pay to you if you provide useful information about, a particular terrorist group leader or a particular information about that, I don't think people will agree with that particular information. They rather keep quiet than providing that information because they may end up endangering themselves rather than providing, the basic information that is required. So that is the reality on ground. I don't think the locals will provide information even at the place of 100 million, the place of 50 million naira, because they know the consequences. What will happen if you could remember that Ado Aliru, who was declared wanted in 2019, and 5 million naira was placed on him for anybody that provides information. He killed over 60 civilians in Kadisau community. And also another community in Kankara, he killed about 69 people. all in all, within 2 weeks, I think we've seen over 100 people. Why did he kill them? Because they were providing information to the military, who were, deployed to the community to provide protection for the civilians. That was the reason why he killed those people. And people are fully aware about, the consequences of providing information to the security, especially information for the most dangerous and the notorious bandit leaders like Samudi or Johnson. So this is personal opinion regarding to this bounty placed on the bandit leaders.
Your opinions seem to suggest that you would advise the authorities to not use a promise of a reward in a way of tackling insecurity. Are you saying that they should leave this tool altogether, or are you saying that there are certain things that need to be in place before it is effective?
Number one, I think the best thing is to strengthen their intelligence gathering. No need for them to plant bounty. Let them, build trust with the locals. That is what we call trust building. Let them build that trust with the locals. I think without paying a dime, they can get information. These people are not like even in somewhere else. They are within the locals. They are in the community. Locals know them because they are members, But the problem is that trust issue, between Nigerian government and the locals, or between the locals and the security matters. No matter how much you pledge, locals may decide to say, I'm not going to provide this information. But if there is trust between the locals and the authorities in the rural communities, let me take you back. For example, when there is local authorities, when there is local government authorities, no need for you to pledge that bond. When you go to the traditional leader or the local government chairman and you say you need particular information about so particular, who will pledge a call. Within just short period of time, that particular information will reveal to the authorities. But now the local authorities are no longer functioning. Traditional leaders are no longer have that power, of knowing everything that is happening in their community. So that is the reality. I'm saying let them train their, intelligence gathering and also trust building with the locals. So that locals will be safe and free to share the information without even thinking of collecting any bounty or any reward from this. That's my candid opinion.
Mr. Mohammed, we appreciate your opinion and your expertise on this conversation. Thank you for joining us. Our guest, Idris Mohammed, is a conflict researcher with the Department of Mass Communication at Usman Danfodio University in Sokoto, joining us to discuss the latest announcement by the Katsina State Police Command, which is offering 50 million naira to anyone with information that leads to the arrest of 2 notorious bandit leaders who've been operating in the state.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.